Hey everybody! So, what we're going to be learning today is how women can begin to dominate in a male dominated industry. Now, let me just start here and say this subject is so long overdue. First of all, I have worked in a male dominated industry for going on 6 to 7 years now, and I have to say, it is one of the most challenging, exciting, like rush giving feelings in the world because us as women we like to say anything you can do I can do better, which is so true first and foremost, but I mean the fact that you can back it up with the results make it that much better. So let's get into it. I want to have the floor open to teaching you guys how to really navigate through working in a male dominated industry. I myself, first male dominated industry I worked in was the car business. Second was insurance, but sales period. It tends to get a bad rep on being just a male dominated industry because that's typically where a lot of men tend to go. That and of course like mechanic shops and all that. Don't kill me. But anyway, yeah. So for me, I can only speak from experience, but it has really taught me how to be a boss. Being thrown into the wolves and coming out with a fur coat is one of the main things that you can do. It's one of the main things that you learn from working around a whole bunch of men. And I don't know if it's true for you, but it's been my life story for a really long time. I get along better with men than I do with women. Don't know why, but it's always been that way. Like, I can count on one hand how many female friends that I've had and versus the male friends that I've had. I mean, it's easier. I have a big brother. Like, it's a whole lot of male cousins. Like, it's just, I can't explain it, but we're going to work through how to still dominate and come out on top, ladies, as we already do. Anyway, though. So, first thing is law. We have to go over this first. This is the first step. Never sleep with the with your male colleagues. Never, ever, ever. This is law, ladies. You never, ever mix business and pleasure because one, it makes for a toxic work environment, and two, word is going to spread like wildfire. Just do not put your business, mix your personal with that ever. Obviously, you guys know that. I'm hoping you guys know that, but just have to put that out there. Step 2 is to know your stuff. You have to know your knowledge. With you being a woman in this industry, you have to understand. People are automatically going to look at you as a woman. One, because you are. Two, what that means is they're going to look at you like, oh, she doesn't know much. She doesn't really, even in this day and age, it's just it's second nature. People are going to look at us like we need help in some type of way, or we just don't know more than the opposite sex, especially when we're in a certain field where men tend to run around. Now, what that means is you have to know your knowledge. You have to know your product. You have to be the smartest woman in the room or the smartest person in the room, because what people can't take away from you is your knowledge and your results. So even if somebody were to come in and say, oh, well, just count you out automatically, what you have is, okay, but here's my results. Here's my sales. Here's what I have. So you can play boo-boo the fool all day, but as long as you're able to back up just as good as you look as your results, you're always going to win at the end of the day. Results. Number 1 way to dominate. 2. Or is that 3? Anyway, what you guys want to begin to realize is how can I put this? It's very simple when it comes to men, because what they want is simple. They just want to make their money, talk mess, eat, and go home. Which is why it's so much easier working around men than it is working around women. But that's neither here nor there. The other thing that I want you guys to know is make connections. Make solid, genuine connections. When you're a woman in the male-dominated industry, we want to prove ourselves. We want to make sure that, we are in the room and we can command the room, and we can do whatever you do and do it better, which I completely condone. But what you have to understand is, if you isolate yourself, you're not going to be able to make, solid connections. You're not going to be able to create people who can genuinely help you. That's something that I personally had to overcome, because it's like, nah, like, I don't want to talk to none of you guys. I'm going to show you guys I'm better, and I'm stronger, and and I get that. I definitely get that. But what you have to do is you still have to make connections with people. I'm not saying you got to be buddy, but figure out, you got to learn how to read the room. Figure out who is the top salesperson, who is the person who's doing the right thing, making the most sales, who's making the most money, and create yourself a little bit of a mentor, or associate with those who are doing what you want to do at the top level that you want to achieve. And don't just be so stuck to just one specific area. Get to know people outside of your industry, outside of your section, right? Like, if you're in sales, get to know people in HR, get to know people at the front desk. These are people who in a long run are going to help you become a better person, become a better saleswoman, a better whatever industry that you're in. Learn how to create connections, solid connections. Don't isolate yourself. Just because you want to be bigger and better and badder, you'll feel better when you make it to the top, knowing that you created those genuine connections with you. You want to have somebody clapping for you, not somebody who's gonna stab you in the back, because that's not a good feeling. You have to learn how to work the room and enjoy your environment, right? So when you make it to the top, just make sure that you also have people around who are there to clap and support you. So that's the main thing. But another great thing about being in a male-dominated industry is that there's just less drama. I don't know what it is. I think working around women, it's not all women, but just working around a whole bunch of women, it's kind of catty, for one. So you really do have an advantage when it comes to working in a male-dominated industry, in my opinion, because it's just you get to know a lot about a man, about what they think about, what they do. And like I said, it's very simple. It's just, they want to work, they want to get their money, they want to go home. There is no drama, there is no talking about this and that. And it's easier, right? Especially with you being a woman, you can use what you have to your advantage. Not to say your assets, if you know what I mean, but to say, what you have, meaning we're natural nurturers, right? So I believe using what you have also means allowing your customers to come to you, right? And how women can do that is by tapping into their feminine side, right? I mean, the last thing that you want to do is become too overly masculine to where you're scaring people off, or be too overly feminine where people are automatically dismissing you and just don't take you seriously. There has to be a happy balance when you're moving and navigating in that industry, and you have to learn how to become a chameleon. Work the room, learn how to read the room, and not become your environment, but learn how to navigate through that environment. But the main thing, advantage that we have as women, again, like I said, is being that natural nurturer. Make your clients feel at home with you by showing them that you are listening, that you care about what it is that they are looking for. Take the time out to actually get to know your client, because in a sales or just the industry altogether, the product is always going to change. You never sell your product. You sell you. You sell who you are. And that's how you create a client over a customer. You understand? You want to create more clients than customers, because what a client is someone who comes back because of the experience that you've given them. A customer is someone who's going to just come back because of the product. Clients will follow you wherever you go. A customer is only going to be loyal to whatever you have in your hand. So make sure that you are creating that relationship, that connectivity, and promise you, every single time you're going to end up on top. So I just wanted to open up the floor to you guys and, get your opinion about it and kind of see where you stand in terms of creating that dynamic and working in a male-dominated industry. I think it was easier for me because I get along with a lot of different people. And like I said, when I grew up, I just naturally navigated more so towards men than women. But everybody's story is different. So, I open up the floor to you guys. You tell me what it looks like for you and let me know if any of these tips helped. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube so you can get some more of these helpful tips. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.